April 5th, and this is The View with Catherine Chang. Today's topic is the new AIT director and the Asian new NATO. The current AIT director, Brent Christensen, will demit this July. There's a saying that the current Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands, Sandra Alkirk, will succeed, although it is not confirmed yet. If it is true, I think it has something to do with the Asian new NATO, and that the United States really plan to do. And why? Here are some points. A. Sandra Alkirk is the current Assistant Secretary at the U.S. State Department, and she's in charge of foreign affairs regarding Australia and New Zealand. In fact, the so-called Asian new NATO refers to Japan, Taiwan, Australia, New Zealand, India, and Vietnam, etc. I think one of the main purposes for the Asian new NATO is to fight against China's expansion. B. Sandra Alkirk once visited Taiwan to meet with President Tsai in October 2019, and this is what she was at that time. And she also co-chaired with Taiwan Foreign Minister Joseph Wu for the inaugural Pacific Islands dialogue between Taiwan and the United States. C. Taiwan and the U.S. kind of signed the first MOU to establish a Coast Guard working group on March 26. I think it implies that Taiwan and the U.S. Coast Guards can work together in the Taiwan Strait and the South China Sea against China. Plus, if the new AIT director will be Sandra Alkirk, well, it means that the U.S. plans to strengthen the roles of Australia and Taiwan in the Pacific Ocean. And we can see that the announcement should be released soon. Here are the top stories. Today, we have one confirmed case. It is an imported case coming from Indonesia. First, I want to talk about the fatal train crash in Taiwan. On April 2nd, a train crashed in eastern Taiwan, killing 50 people and injuring dozens. The cause is a construction truck that rolled onto the trucks and sparked the tragedy, and the owner is now held in custody. At the same time, the Minister of Transportation and Communications, Lin Jiarong, to resign. He said, "I accept all the criticisms and will take full responsibility." Also, he said, "I will officially resign from the job after rescue work is completed." In addition, I want to talk about the so-called Chinese way of mourning. Well, Chinese President Xi Jinping sent his condolences to Taiwan on April 3rd, and he used the term compatriots in Taiwan, Taiwan 同胞. However, Chinese military deployed YA anti-submarine to intrude Taiwan's ADIZ on the same day. Also, 6 Chinese military aircraft intruded the ADIZ again today. On the other hand, over 92 countries sent condolences to Taiwan. Palau President Serengo Wibbs Jr. is the first leader to do so. On April 2nd, he said that, "On behalf of the people and government of Palau, please accept my deepest condolences and prayers." And we know that countries and political leaders sent their sympathies to Taiwan following the tragedy, including the U.S. Department of State, Japan's Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, and the UK Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab. We know that the U.S. State Department Deputy Spokesperson Jalina Porter said that U.S. State Department offered condolences to all those affected by the train derailment in Taiwan. And UK Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab and said that, "My thoughts are with the victims, their families, and those injured." And Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga said that Japan kind of sincerely pray for the souls of those who died in the accident. At the same time, before Yoshihide Suga meets with U.S. President Joe Biden on April 16, he reiterated that Taiwan's peace is stability key to the region. He said that Japan will cooperate with the United States to calm rising tensions between China and Taiwan. There's also a tension between Japan and China. On April 2nd, an assembly member from Ishigaki, Okinawa, Hitoshi Nakama, was on the fishing boat boat named Tsumaru to Senkaku Island, and 2 Chinese Coast Guard ships follow and chase the Japanese vessel for almost 26 hours. You can see over here, this is the Japanese Coast Guard's vessel, and over here is the Chinese Coast Guard vessels. In addition, we know that Chinese aircraft carrier Liaoning Hao kind of spotted passing through the waterway between Okinawa and Miyako Island and heading towards the Pacific on April 3rd. You can see over here, and this is the Chinese aircraft carrier Liaoning Hao. In the end, let's talk about the pandemic. A French reported more than 60,000 new COVID-19 cases in the past 24 hours, and the whole country is still under national lockdown. I hope everybody have a nice Monday. We need peace and happiness. Well, that will be the view for today. This is Catherine from Taipei. I hope you have a nice night, and I'll see you again tomorrow.